If you build a good product, users will actually come.
Hugging and investing is pretty much the same thing.
Free users is bad for you. Feedback from friends is bad for you.
Send me the money. It's very good.
You can send the money to me as well.
I'm actually planning to raise money for this. To do some things that you like, but you have to do the smaller things you don't have to like. You have to like the bigger things. That's kind of the recipe for success. Like the long-term goals have to fulfill your life and give you joy, and short-term actions should be painful. That's it. Like a football player has painful life 99% of the day, and the only time they are having fun is when they win, if they win.
Is that the reason why you went from a startup world to a bootstrap world?
Yeah, because it's full of pain. But true. VC world is full of joy, because the only thing most people do there, they drink, have fun, go to conferences, have people asking for interviews, like all the good things. And all the bad things all happen just once when you shut down the company, because like now, if I lose a user, my heart hurts. I have channel where it sends me every cancel subscription, and it's painful. But in a VC world, you don't care. You care about VC round, which happens once every 2 years or a year. So if you don't raise, it's a pain just once.
I mean, Clue is a VC-backed company, so hearing all of this is very hard. Very true, very hard.
Well, I still have VC-backed startups in my portfolio, so I'm still part of the world pretty deeply. It's just...
Tell me what's going to happen with us. What's the future looking for startups? You wrote that just because of lack of funding, we are shutting down and etc. I mean, if the change is going to happen, for me, it's very true. Once you get, when you decide to raise money, I think many people go into that direction, not actually knowing why they're raising, if that makes sense. And the money burns much faster. But what do you think, what is the future then for the VC money and VC world? Is it possible that, bootstrap companies will be ideal situation for being, for raising money, or that we're going to end up with this pre-seed and seed rounds? There's going to actually be potential in companies. I want to hear more about that.
Yeah, I have two answers. So one answer is that we're going to see the VC world shift from pre-seed, seed, and incubation onto companies with traction and revenue. We see that today. And in years from now, most bootstrappers will have raised money. They will raise money if they're successful. And many will not say no to that, because once you're a successful bootstrapper, raising VC money will not hurt you as much as it hurts at the beginning. So it will be just a liquidity event. You can just, take out cash and buy a house, for example, and you can delegate more, because bootstrappers tend to delegate nothing. And you can't go on that way forever. That's one thing that I'm seeing. It's not I'm thinking, I'm seeing that because I have a lot of data. I have a lot of people, and I follow, the funds, and I have people reaching out to me, VC funds. And, if you read my Twitter, it's clear I'm not raising money, right? But the number of VCs reaching out to me is higher than I ever had. And when they reach out, they say, we are bootstrap friendly. We are not taking the board seat. We don't even create a board for you. You don't have to have a board. So, and this is happening today. Really, I don't have to raise because it's just, I don't need the money today, because I don't use money for growth. And if you don't use it for growth, why do you need the money? Because building is cheap now. But the other thing is that I think we are seeing a big change in what startup is. So in old days, startups were around products. So the product was the startup. And even bootstrappers in old days were around products. You would remember someone because they're doing the product. Today, the founder is the product and the company is a product. What that means is that it's not important what you are doing anymore. It's important if you have built the machine that can produce stuff that's relevant, because the time is moving so fast that the product you came in with might be not interesting for the market a year after. And what do you do then? Do you close down the company, or do you stop being a founder, or you pivot, or you start new stuff? And in old days, it was impossible to imagine that this VC founded startup would close down a product and start new product. You can't even imagine that. There were like 5 stores in total, maybe, right? Today, that will be the norm. The startups are being not shamed for that. And founders today, like, they're the machines that can produce stuff. So I relate really well to what Elon Musk does with Gigafactory, where he's not building a car, he's building a product. Is the factory. The factory is something he's building that can produce anything, all the cars, and now it can produce the humanoid robots. And maybe the robot will be the trillionth thing for them, and maybe the next thing, maybe, the bees or anything like that. And I think that's the big change. That's the big change that NVCs see that, and I see activity in that front where people will be investing in people. Like, VCs will invest in Don and not in his particular product. And he can build anything because he doesn't have to be restricted with just one product that was good yesterday, but maybe not good today.
Mm. I fully agree. But at one moment, John, I firstly want to welcome you to the Morning Maker Show. And you said one interesting thing. You said bugs. And I think I felt something like a bug. And I think,
What? Are you okay? What happened, Sandra? What's going on?
I see one on your
It's
shoulder.
a very big bugs.
Yes.
What did you use there? What did you use there?
The bugs goes away with Century spray.
You fixed it.
You fixed the error with the spray. I think I used this this morning and fixed a couple bugs myself. Hey, Sandra, is this the first time you used the Sentry spray? And how hard was it to use it? Was it an easy setup?
Where else can you kill with it? Can you kill competitors with it?
Bugs, animal. It depends. Like, it can be a huge bug, a small bug, annoying bug, any type of the bug. With a Sentry spray, bugs go away.
Did you invent that? I like that.
No, I mean, we did in the metro 15 minutes ago.
Oh, that's brilliant. Well, thank you, Sandra, for this.
I literally use Sentry today, by the way. I have Sentry running for all my products.
Oh, you do? You do?
Yeah, and I use it in a very cool way. Others don't use it that way, I'm sure. Sentry sends Discord messages with all the errors into the channel where I work on products with a developer. And that's why, you can't ignore it. You're just chatting about stuff. It's suddenly, boofs, the error comes in right in the chat, in the middle of your message,
It's no one's gonna believe that we didn't set this up. It's just everyone's gonna be, these guys, they talk with John before they like have this whole thing arranged. It's too good to be true. But yeah, sorry, go on.
I'm using Sentry for 10 years, so I'm a big fan.
Wow.
Oh my god.
I mean, your ad was so much better than mine.
Wow. Okay. Well, what can you say to this? I think it's pretty much explains it. I use Sentry. I've used it in a couple products before, and I've just installed it this year on mine for some reason. I don't know why. I thought it's an enterprise product. So for a long time, I thought, well, I don't think I need this. And then I put it on my products. And it was the best decision I did this year, I think, because not only that I find some really ridiculous issues, like, it's a one-liner kind of, you've misspelled something, but also I feel a lot more comfortable now when I make a release. I'm like, if something's gonna go wrong, I'm gonna get that email, so no problem.
Yeah, I mean, same here. Like, sometimes I forget to put Sentry. Not the Sentry itself, but the webhook to Discord. And whenever that happens, I miss the bugs and the bugs come from the users. That's real, like it happens. And I feel so stupid because if I had Sentry, bug would still happen, but I would know it before the user knows. And then when the user writes me, I would say, yeah, I know about the bug. We have fixed it. The update is coming in, 1 hour. And people like that. That's the thing. Like bugs are good if you kill them in front of the user.
Yeah,
Smash them
exactly.
right in front.
I don't believe like this is not scripted, everyone, but it's it's perfect. It's exactly the best part about it is that your reaction speed will seem like you are ahead of everyone else. So when you get that support email, someone saying, "Oh, I had this issue 5 minutes ago," and you can answer, "Well, it's a fix is already on the way." That's what it could do. So haven't prepared this part, but I'm really happy that you said it, John, because that happened to me a couple times only, but it's the best feeling in the world when it does.
I had a friend who was really good at startups, so he taught me a lot. He was an old Danish guy, and he said, like, it's stupid to make your product perfect because you have to create a reason for people to message you. And I'm going to
That's
reveal
nice.
something nasty, but every product I have, every landing page I have, has spelling mistakes. All of them.
I do the same thing, just
Yeah.
I don't do it intentionally.
All right. So you're smart by accident, right? On this thing.
Exactly.
This
Exactly.
just came in, so apparently the Sentry spray is online. You can you can just sign up for this. So yeah, it's endorsed by Mark Liu. Apparently, he didn't know he likes it until he made a T-shirt with it, and then he just fell in love with Sentry. So
I loved his t-shirt. He should actually do it exactly the way he presented, like with the handmade. That's an idea. Like Mark, if you're listening, handmade logos on the t-shirt, people will buy that. That's like you're famous.
also, if Sentry is listening, they should remake Mark's T-shirt and actually put it in their Sentry shop for sale. I think that would do great.
Oh, absolutely. That would be huge. But you were mentioning the spelling mistakes and you do it intentionally.
I do it intentionally because that creates reason for people to tell me, "Hey, I found this error," and I don't create bugs intentionally, but I'm not afraid of having them because they bring people into your chat. They show the people the way you respond. You earn their trust on the way you deal with their problem. They like you for that, and they think that this is someone I want to work with. If I have problem in the future, I know they reply, I know how they reply, I know how they react on the problem, and then they feel comfortable. And now if they have feedback or they want new feature, they will just message you with no problem. And that's what I want. But I don't create bugs intentionally. I'm just not having huge routine to actually not have them in place.
Yeah, now I feel like we're gonna send a message to community: the more bugs, the better.
Yeah, because a lot of people are afraid. Like people, I send people a message, like somebody messages me with something, like, and I tell, "What's your product?" Because some makers don't have their product in their in their portfolio. Like you have to put it there. Like that's the minimum we have to do, right? And they're like, "I'm doing that," and he sends me the link, and I'm asking him, like, "Why isn't the link on your portfolio or on your bio?" He's like, "Because it's not done yet." But you can try it. I'm like, if I can try it, everybody has to try it. It doesn't matter that
Yeah,
it's not ready
yeah.
yet. Like it doesn't matter. There are more people. Like some people will try it, will not work. There are new people being born every day, so they come into the scene and they try now. So don't be afraid to launch, early versions. Just do that.
But I wanted to ask you, you're someone who's saying that building in niche markets, it's really good, and I fully agree with you on that. But at which stage, or we all dream of these big growth numbers and going wild and crazy. But can we do that in the niche markets, or do you actually build, or the key is to build upon the product at certain stage? Like, how do you see that?
I see that as the only way to actually build stuff, because everything else is a lottery. So if you're building for a large market, your odds of success are so low that you can just play on the gambling market. It will be the same. And those who win, well, survival bias. Like, some people won, of course, but let's collect in the room everybody who has lost. There is no space in this room for those people now, not even in this city. So I think the more niche you go, the better, and you have to cut it from all the sides you can. It has to be, one problem, one specific type of problem within that problem, special type of the company that has that problem. Is it a team or is it solo founder? And what's their age? Like you have to narrow down as much as you can. And if that means that your whole market is million a year, let's say that what it means, because there are no markets lower than 1 million a year if you look the whole world, right? It's always minimum that, even for a super small thing. But you're going to be winning that market maybe 50 to 100%. So it's not as bad now, because when you look at the market from the VC kind of world, you have this funnel. The market size is 100, and my size of that market is 1, because that's realistic.
And
1%.
I have no channel of distribution. I have no idea how to go to the market, but I know the size of the market.
And you compete with 1,000 other people doing the same thing, because the more wide you go, the wider you go, the more people are competing doing the same thing. And a lot of them are backed with a lot of money and throw the money on the ads and everything. So you can't even do the marketing properly there, because everything is paid. Even SEO is really hard in that kind of niche, because they do SEO as well, everybody else. And if you're great at SEO, but others are great too, then nobody's winning. You're all losing, actually. But is it possible to win on a niche market and grow your audience and grow your market? Of course, it's possible, because you narrow down the market by not by accident, but by purpose. You picked only individuals, for example. All right, add team features, add collaboration features, add permissions. Now you serve the teams too, right? But you use the first group as your ambassadors, word of mouth, and some of them get hired into companies which are large, and they bring in the thing with them, right? So is it hard to grow such product? It's not that hard. It's much harder to win the niche, but the rest is not that hard. And if you look at the most successful products, it's very often their story. It's very often that they started with very small thing. Like Facebook started in one campus, right?
John, do you consider Unicorn Platform to be a niche product? Because looking at your stats,
Oh, of course.
Is it still a niche product? And will it always be
anymore?
niche?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
So
not anymore.
That's a good question. And obviously the answer is that it was a niche product. And eventually it hit the limit of that niche and it stopped growing, and nothing would help because that was the size of the market. And now we get out of that, and now it started growing again into the new height. But then I didn't go generic. I'm still niche. I just open up my niche. I just remove filters. Imagine you have 20 filters. You filter, you have just one person left on the earth, right? You remove one filter, you have 20 people. So you just keep removing the filters every year, and you keep eating the market from inside out, from the bottom up.
So was it part of the success to build other niche products that sort of linked back to it, built it up, the directory sites and so on? Was this your strategy, and you always had your eyes on Unicorn Platform, or were they built independently? What's your vision with this? Or is this the vision of Mars X, perhaps?
It is all connected. So nothing I do is disconnected. So some people think that I'm throwing shit to the wall and see what sticks. It's not what I'm doing. So it has a big vision. And the big vision here is to build a set of tools for other builders who are short on time. because that's a specific group of builders who are short on time. Not everybody is short on time. If you have a lot of people in a team, you're not short on time. You can always hire more people to do the work, so you're not caring that much about the time it takes to execute the task. You care only about the quality of execution, right? And in my case, I want to not dominate, but I want to be the most useful tool set for busy founders in the world. And why I want to win this market, why I want to be useful for this group, because I believe that this group will be leading the world farther. So I have my bet that the busy founder world will be the world that will take over the SaaS world in years from now, because they are building their inner personal startup machines. And it doesn't matter that the world is changing, like AI and all those things. It doesn't matter. They're the startup machines now, and they will build new stuff that's relevant for the future world. Nobody cares. It's not going to happen the same with startups, because startups are teams. They can't move that fast. So that's my kind of goal. I'm not planning to look for more niches out of this niche. I'm actually betting on this niche growing so far that it becomes the mainstream, and then I'm powering the mainstream.